Guys, how we doing? Before we get started, everyone, welcome, of course. And we're going to have to massively, unfortunately, excuse my voice, and also excuse my nose as well. I'm completely man down at the moment, but was not going to miss this training for the world. So I'm not going to be talking any louder than this. Been completely out of action now for half of Friday in the last 2 days. Only had about 4 hours sleep. Throat's gone, nose is completely blocked, really horrific cough. I don't really know if I've picked up a bug from Logan. He's got it as well, whether it's a result of having the jab, I don't know, but what I do know is it is what it is, and I can't change it. So yeah, I failed a fitness test on Saturday, didn't play rugby, had all kind of yesterday in bed. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all of this is not because I want any sympathy, okay? It's because if something like this has happened to you in the past, the number one, just drop me a comment saying hello, let me know you're here as well. The number one thing that we always do as humans, okay, is, oh, I won't bother doing my weekly planner because there's no point, I'm ill, okay? I won't bother completing my fitness pal today because there's no point, I'm ill, okay? I won't bother doing my steps today because there's no point, I'm ill, okay? You have to be seriously ill, guys, to not be able to do steps. So all of those things have still happened. And this is what I want your biggest take home to be, okay? From this, before I get into the weekly battle plan and teaching you how to do it and showing you exactly what Nat and I have done to set ourselves up for success this week. So this is the way I want you to think of it. So I can't train because I'm injured. I'm not eating right because I'm ill. My exercise adherence has been taken down, okay? Something's kicked off at work. Anything right up to and including bereavements, okay? Broken bones, really serious injuries. You have to start to think of things in this mindset, okay? So if something SH1T has happened, that is when you need the weekly battle plan more than ever, okay? When you're injured, that's when you need to track food more than ever. When you're feeling horrifically ill, that's when you need to plan your day more than ever because it will give you some focus, okay? But what we do as humans, drop me a yes if you've done this, obstacle, travesty, kids are ill, someone's phoned in sick, got no childcare, nursery, bereavement, injury, any of those spectrum things, who's had that obstacle or that crisis, let's call it, happen, and the first thing you do is you let everything else go, okay? You kind of adapt this, well, there's no point doing any of that because this thing has happened, okay? And what you have to understand is that that is when you need the planning and the scheduling, even if you don't feel like it, okay? Because that's another surefire way to not get results. Again, listen to what I said there. What's the most surefire way to not get results, okay? I'm just going to make this full screen. Drop me a comment in the box, okay? What's the easiest way? Is that still sharing? Okay. What's the easiest way to not get results? That's what I want to know in the comments, okay? And then I'm going to come on to how we set up for an unstoppable week, okay? So think about what's the easiest way we can not get results, okay? So weekly battle plan before we come on to that. Pure and simple is what this will be. And you may have thought it's a lot more complicated than this. Okay, you might think, me and Nat have some epic fan dabby dozy form of weekly planning system that allows us to nail every week and every day to be perfectly planned. Okay, again, I spoke last week about the guy who said that, how do you do what you do, Lee? How do you fit it all in? I just don't get it. It kind of makes no sense to me. Like, do you ever have a day off? He said. And I do, rarely. That's probably might be why I've burnt out, which I'm going to come on to in the coachings later in the week. But more than likely, it's because I do still have this planner. Okay. Kate and Matt not do the work is a surefire way to not get results. But for me, the most surefire way to not get results is to only do things when you feel like it. Okay. So only train when you feel like it, only complete the planner on days when you feel like it, only go out and get out of your comfort zone when you're feeling good. Okay, only play rugby when the crowds are watching, only do your training when the spectators are there, only go out for a run when it's nice and dry and sunny. Okay, that's when you're all about your feelings. So if you I've not done the planner this week because I didn't feel well. Okay, you're all about your feelings, and that's the quickest way to not get results. Okay, you have to not be all about your feelings and override the feelings and still do what you said you were going to do anyway. Okay, because that's what's called world-class accountability. So without further ado, I'm going to give you 3 options here. So you can see the pen's ready, the iPad's up, and this is going to be quite an interactive training. Okay, so before we can create our weekly battle plan, we need to have defined one of 3 to 5 things. Okay, it's only 3 to 5 things in any of this coaching. So number 1 could be 3-year plan. Okay, there's no point doing a weekly battle plan without a 3-year plan. Okay, number 2 could be 1-year plan. Hopefully the iPad's going to catch up and you will be able to view that. See how long the delay is. Can you guys see what I've just written on the iPad, or is it still just blank? Still just looks blank. Technical issues as well, I don't know. Okay, let's try getting this down. Bear me one sec, guys. So the iPad's not working, is it? 2 seconds. Can you guys all see the iPad? Yeah, so you can all see the iPad on the screen. What I can't figure out is why. There we go. That's why. So I'm going to rewrite them on. Sorry, guys, bear with me. It'll catch up in about 2 seconds. So we need a 3-year plan. So don't give that too much thought tonight, but you do need one. We're going to need a 1-year plan or a 12-month plan. Again, these can be longer term things that you put in place and back burners, but I suggest you have both of them. These are the 5 things. Okay. And then from there, I break it down into 3, which I would recommend you should have all 3 of these. Okay. By the end of this week, especially if you're new to it. Okay. So we need a 90-day plan. This could be in business, body, or balance, which is what we're going to come on to. Okay. We need a 60-day plan. And finally, we need a 30-day plan. So the 1-year plans will usually be refreshed both years and then will fit within the 3-year plan. So it's 3 times 1-year plans with an overall 3-year plan. The 90 days will fit as 4 90-day plans, 3 90-day plans, sorry, within the 12-month plan. The 60-day plans will stand alone. And then the 30-day plan will generally have 3 of them. It's what we would call a monthly plan within the 90-day plan, okay, or 2 of them within the 60-day plan. So it can be variant on different things, but for the purposes of tonight's training, I'm going to work on 30 days, because I think that's what all of you need right now, okay? So by tomorrow, what I would recommend that you do is plan your 30-day goals, okay? And then I'm going to break them down into the week. But as I said, we need that 30-day goal before we do the weekly battle plan. Otherwise, it will just be a kind of short, sharp road to nowhere, shall we kill it? So, call it. So first of all, we're going to look at, and again, there's lots of different variations on this, okay? Paul's is more intense. It's fitness, family, focus, finance, and fun. Brian Keane has a 4-week quadrant system. For me personally, obviously I do it a certain way when I'm coaching with Paul, but again, for you guys, I personally believe it should be further simplified. Okay, I've lost all my notes now. So I'm going to break it down for you guys into 3 areas to simplify it, because I think we can encompass all things within that, okay? So what is our 30-day plan for body? Okay. What is our 30-day plan for business? And what is our 30-day plan for balance? So within those goals, body for me is going to be everything that's fitness, fat loss, strength. Let's just put muscle, mindset, health, personal development. So within body, it'll be individual to each person, but we want to be looking at our 30-day goals for all those areas, okay? Then within business, this could be your career if you're employed, it could be a business if you're a businessman, or it could just be your goals if you're self-employed. So again, this is generally income, finance, focus, and we need a 30-day goal for each of them, okay? Now, the final one, which is the one that almost everybody misses out, okay? So this is balance. So this is fun, family, memories, experience, hobby, and the key word, freedom. Spell it wrong. Okay, so what are our 30-day goals for fun, family, memories, experience, hobbies, and freedom? Because I think all of those kind of encompass freedom, don't they? So once we've done that, and only once we've done that, can we then move on to the weekly battle plan, okay? Which then is the overview of your daily checklist and planner. And then we're going to work on how we review the week as well, okay? So first things first, before you implement the weekly battle plan, I would make sure that you get super clear on what your desired outcomes are for those, okay? If you want to get moving quickly, I wouldn't think about 3 years, 1 year, 90 days, 60 days, because then, as I've discussed before, you're going to end up living in the shit zone, okay? Somewhere between where you are now and where you want to be, which seems too far away. This is what everything's about, okay? Remember the chapters of the books. How do we make it smaller? So what we are looking to do is get that 30-day plan nailed, okay? Now, by 30-day plan, I mean specifically body outcomes. Okay, I mean specifically business outcomes. And specifically balance outcomes. Okay, we can't shoot for a goal that we can't see. We have to know what we're going for. And if we're not, then we'll get lost really, really quickly. So once we've figured those out for the 30 days or the 60 days or the 90 days up to and including, this becomes the start of every single weekly battle plan. Now, you might well be thinking, well, how can that be? Because you've just said it's monthly, bi-monthly, or 90 days. How is it weekly? Okay. Now, here's the first thing we have to do. Stage 1 of weekly battle plan. Just bear with me. Okay, drop me a line in the comments. What do you guys think stage 1 of the weekly battle plan is? Okay, it's a reminder. So hands up if you've set some epic goals for the week, the month, the quarter, 90 days, 12 weeks, whatever it is. And then if I said to you in 5 weeks, what was your 90-day goals? You'd be like, what was it again? How much money did you say you wanted to earn in your business? How many gym sessions did you say you wanted to do? Fucking hell, what did I say again? Okay, that should resonate with a lot of you. Okay, you can watch it on playback, Stacey, so don't stress. But we forget, we become distracted, and they become lost, and we forget exactly what it is that we want to achieve, what we set out to achieve, why it started. Okay, so the number one tip for me, the start of every single weekly battle plan should begin with your 30-day outcome reminder. Okay, so what did I want to achieve? How much did I want to earn? How many family days did I want? How many date nights did I want? How many times did I say I was going to go to the gym? How many yoga sessions did I say I was going to do? How many days did I say I was going to track my food? How many days did I say I was going to have off social media? What did I say I was going to get my screen time down to? Okay, how many date nights did I say I was going to do? How often did I get my phone off before 6 o'clock at night? Okay, how many non-distracted days did I have with the kids? Okay, so get clear on these outcomes specifically. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about mine and Nat's, and then we're going to go on to how we can turn that into a weekly plan. Okay, so once I've reminded myself what the outcomes are for the 30 days, I want to break them down smaller. Okay, so we'll then ask this question. Okay, what is the 3 most important things I can action this week to make progress towards my 30-day outcome? Okay, drop me a few comments in. Okay, so drop some comments in, especially if you're watching this on replay. Once you've defined your 30-day goal, what we need to be planning today, is what are the 3 most important things that we can do this week to make progress towards our goals. Now, that is 3 times body, 3 times balance, 3 times business. Okay, so mine, for example, is simply gym 5 times. Okay, for body. Yoga 3 times. Track food every day. Okay, they're the 3 body things that I can do this week in order to progress towards my goals. Okay, balance. What are my 3 main things? So, plan swimming on Sunday with Logan. Phone off by 7 p.m. Wednesday, 1 p.m. lunch with Nat. Okay, I guarantee you guys, this is the area you will suffer in the most if you've not got a weekly battle plan, especially if you're very driven and motivated, and especially if you have your own business, especially if you're chasing finances, either higher earnings or you're in a position where you feel you're not earning them. That will be the area that will suffer the most. Okay, business, new plan on sale, VIP sale, website, comms, Laura. Okay, so again, these are just my ones for me. But, you know, if I listed more than 3 in business, I went into content meetings and filming days and photo shoots and website and planning live videos and turning up and doing the morning things and, you know, just listing all these things. As I've said time and time again, you know, to-do lists are for amateurs. We have to have a plan and then we have to prioritize. So do not put more than 3 things on this, okay? So 3 things, the 3 most important things you can do this week to progress towards your goals that you've set out for 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days in body, in balance, and in business, okay? Don't miss any of them out. And then once we've got those to focus on, everything else can go into a brain dump or a to-do list, okay? Then what do we do, okay? What do we do tomorrow when we fill out the day planner and schedule? We do the same again, don't we? But we break it down to how many steps did I do today? Did I track my calories? Did I do my morning journal? Did I do my evening review? Was I accountable? Did I turn up to the WAM? Okay, so we're then broken everything back down into the day planner when it's today's number 1 priority is, okay? My next 3 highly important jobs are, so right across from the quarter or even the year to the quarter, to the 60-day, to the 30-day, to the week, to the day, every task is broken down, okay? And that will lead us straight back to focusing on win, okay? Remember, win stands for what's important now, okay? What's important now is getting your fucking ass checked in for the WAM tomorrow if you haven't already done it. Everything else can wait. What else is important now? Planning your week and tracking your food, okay? What else is important? Watching this video and learning how you're going to better plan the week ahead, okay? So the next step from this, once we've got this written down and we've planned the week, we've then got our daily planner, Unbreakable daily planner and checklist to go about each day to making sure that the steps are moving towards it, okay? Now, this is when, I'm just going to show you guys really, really quickly, because the mindset training on Wednesday, to get it right, or Tuesday, isn't it? Mindset on Tuesday, because I'm away this weekend, and muscle building on Wednesday, okay? The mindset on Tuesday, bulletproof your mindset, is going to absolutely blow your mind into the middle of next week, okay? But I'm going to give you a tiny little, you can see, I'll skim through some of the notes and you can see that. So we're going to discuss positives and negatives. We're going to discuss how we get more. We're going to discuss examples. We're going to discuss why we go straight into fear mode. We're going to discuss tailspins, extreme highs and extreme lows. We're going to discuss personal training, depression. We're going to discuss why has this happened to me, learning about mindset. We're going to discuss secrets, why everything is a blessing, how to live in the present. Every blessing is a lesson. But what I want to touch base on here, how we live with guilt if we live in the past, and how we live in fear if we live in the future, okay? And how we can get rid of both of those and start to become more present. That's what the whole focus of the training is going to be on. And I guarantee you, it will 100% open your mind to things that you've not even considered before, okay? And it will also help you with understanding maybe why you failed in the past, maybe why you've quit in the past, maybe why you found things difficult, and exactly why this time that is not going to happen, okay? So touching on this, touching on your journey, okay, touching on your business, I've just pulled up this one slide here just to give you a little bit of an insight into it, because it deeply attaches to what I've just said here, okay? At some point, whether your goal is fat loss, building muscle, getting rich, having more freedom, having an amazing relationship, being a great parent, whatever your goal is, okay? I've used fat loss as an example here. It has to be about more than just fat loss, okay? But we keep auto resetting to the same plan, the same expectation, the same disappointment, the same guilt, the same fear, and it all comes down to how else we could measure results, okay? Because what I'm going to discuss again on Tuesday is why burnout happens and exactly what burnout is, as I mentioned. So as I've written in my notes here, think about this personally, okay? Personally, I'm burned out at the moment, okay? Now, burnout only happens at one time, and this is what I'm going to come on to and why it's so important, okay? When the energy, the effort, the work, and the time doesn't equal the results, that's when we get burned out, okay? That's when we quit. So, you know, have you ever been absolutely smashing your results and then started talking about burnout or exhaustion, okay, or how tired you are, or, you know, the opposite? Who's ever had momentum and you just don't want to stop? Who's been feeling great going into Christmas and you're kind of annoyed, or going into a holiday or going into any form of period, and you start to become irritated because it's going to break your momentum and you're enjoying having your momentum, okay? So it comes from expectations being set too high. But the key thing that I want you to take away, and what builds into this daily planner, is that we have to find another way to measure the results, okay? And that was the point of this training. That's the point of the daily planner. And that's the point of the weekly battle plan, okay? Now, week after week after week after week, as I've said, it has to be about more than just fat loss. We see posts, don't we? Time and time and time again in the WAM. Okay. Disappointment with the scales, disappointment that the pictures haven't changed. Okay. And it's a recurring circle that just goes round and round and round and round. Hands up if you've weighed yourself on a Sunday after working hard for a week and then completely lost your shit. Okay. Hands up if you've worked really hard and then it didn't quite work out and you didn't get paid and you've completely lost your shit. Okay. It's very, very, very common, isn't it? So what we need to understand is frustration, exhaustion, burnout, lack of self-belief, low confidence, no motivation, all the self-limiting belief bullshit that we keep telling ourselves, why we keep giving up and why we're not good enough. And when fear kicks in, okay, all comes down to us not getting our perceived results, okay? Because the expectations are too high. You didn't not have motivation. You didn't lose your discipline. You didn't not have any self-confidence. You didn't, none of those things, okay? None of those things happened. The only thing that happened and why you were led down a route to experiencing them was that the only result or outcome you had given yourself was to either see noticeable change in a picture from 7 days away or to see picture on a pair of scales. Okay. 99 times out of 100, that will not happen every week. So what happens every week? Disappointment, frustration, anger, resentment. Where does that leave? Exhaustion, burnout, fear, self-loathing, guilt. Okay. So how do we measure results? Okay. And we do it in 4 ways. So we have the outcome, okay, which we've just planned, haven't we? And it's a non-scale outcome, okay? Then we have the leverage. Why do we want to do it? What's the emotional attachment to the goal, okay? The accountability, you've got that here every day. It's world-class, okay? And that leads to the results, okay? So this is where I want everyone's focus to be this week, okay? I want to reiterate this over and over and over again in the WAM in the morning until it starts to sink into people. How about if we start measuring this week on these things, okay? So on our weekly battle plan, it's the most important thing, turn up to the WAM, okay? What's one of my 3 most important things every day? It's tracking my food, okay? What's next? Morning journal. What's next after that? My evening review, okay? Brilliant. So I've got my 4 main things that I need to do. Now, how about this, okay? How do you think this is gonna change your mindset? Okay. And this is why it's so critical that so many of you aren't doing the wins. And then you're just rating yourself once a week on what the scales say. Okay. You start to rate your outcomes, your results, your progress, your perceptions, your expectations on measuring your adherence. So how do you think you'll feel when you all of a sudden, the thing that you rate on your Sunday is how many days out of 7 did I do 10,000 steps? 7. How many days out of 7 did I track my food? 7. How many days out of 7 did I do the evening review? 7. Come on, full house. How many days did I do my planner, my morning journal? 7. Okay. Have I done my pictures? Yep. I'm going to go on the WAM tomorrow. Yep. Win, 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 everywhere. Surrounded by wins, positivity, progress, okay? Track as many results as possible, but not the ones you're currently tracking. So many of you are like 90%. It's all just on the number in the picture on a Sunday, and you become blindsided to everything else, okay? All the other positive things that you're doing, all the changes that you're making, all the progress, all the compound effects, all the small steps that are taking you closer to your 30-day outcome, that are taking towards your weekly outcome. Because trust me, hand on heart, or I would even go as far to say swearing on Logan's life, if that's what you rate yourself on, and you can honestly check in at the end of next week that you did 7 out of 7 evening reviews, you did 7 out of 7 morning journals, you accurately tracked your food 7 days out of 7, and you did 10,000 steps or above 7 days out of 7, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about progress, disappointment, frustration, anger, low self-belief, no confidence, losing motivation, lacking discipline, losing faith, any of those things, okay? Because those small daily steps ticked off and celebrated daily as big wins across a week will lead you towards that goal, and you will hands down achieve it in a way that you never ever considered could be that easy. Okay, it could be that balanced, could have that much clarity, and could be that calm. So that's all, guys, because I don't want to give away too much more of Tuesday's training, but it's going to be epic, I promise you. Hopefully I'll be able to talk a bit louder, shout a bit more, get a bit more juiced up, and get a bit fired up and more passionate. But at the moment, I'm trying to protect this this severed throat. But you know, always experiences as well is what I want to coach. You know, I had a choice this evening, didn't I? Cancel this meeting or do it with a really sore throat, a cough, and having to leave twice because snot's running down my nose. Okay, or do it and still deliver and go downstairs, be able to look in the accountability mirror and say, do you know what? I feel like fucking shite, but I still did it. I still turned up. I was still there for the people that needed me. I still did what I said I would. Okay. And I'm going to go to bed feeling this ill, whether I did this meeting or not. Okay. And it's the same for you guys. Whatever happens this week, okay, we have to focus on the things we can control, not what we can't control. So I can't control being ill. So if I focus on it, I'm going to feel weak, disempowered, pissed off, angry, frustrated, yada, yada, yada. I've said it all. What do I focus on? What I can control? Well, I can still do my life. I'm not dying. Okay. I can still do my steps. I can still stretch. I can take painkillers. I can still track my food. I can still do my weekly battle plan. And all of those things are steps towards swinging the compass away from feeling ill to focusing on getting better. Okay. WAM starts at 8 a.m, Sarah. So yeah, and I urge you guys to do the same this week. Always focus on what we can do and you'll feel strong and empowered. Focus on what you can't do and you'll feel weak and disempowered. Okay. What you focus on, you'll become. So make sure whatever happens, we don't allow things to change because something else happened, because that is what I see so often. I've done it myself. I got fat as F in December 2018. Okay. This is an example to show you guys. Okay. So I was prepping for a bodybuilding comp. I'm going to brag here. I was squatting 220 kg with a coach called Levi Stefan. He was an absolute animal. Okay. He used to slap my back as hard as I could before squats, get me fired up. It was way too heavy. Technique was really poor. But I tell you what, it felt great. Okay. And I ruined my back. Absolutely ruined my back to the level where I had to have an MRI scan. And basically the scan said that L5 and S1, an 80 kg guy is not designed to squat 222 kg. I'd compressed L5 and S1 that close together that the two joints had started trying to grow together. There was calcification there, apparently. So someone might know more about that than me, but basically the joint was that compressed that it was trying to grow together as a broken bone would. Anyway, we digress. So rather than I was told I could not do any weights for 3 months, all I could do was stretching and yoga. And the first thing I did was stopped journaling, stopped cardio, stopped tracking food, threw my toys out of the pram like a fucking baby, and just did nothing for 3 months apart from eat shit, because I just auto reset into this mindset of, well, what's the point? What's the point in tracking my food if I can't train? What's the point in training if I can't compete? What's the point in? What's the point in? What's the point in? I'm just gonna listen to music and get smashed and eat shit for 3 months. And I ended up a big fatty bum bum. I will share the pictures if you like, if I can find them. Putting a very honest post on about it. But that is what the head will naturally do every time you get injured, every time there's a setback, every time there's an illness, every time childcare cancels, every time a crisis happens at work, every time there's a bereavement, every time there's any form of obstacle, okay? Your head will auto reset to, what's the point? This has happened. So I'll stop planning, stop journaling, stop doing everything that was helping to keep me on point. Now, what we need to understand is when we are struggling, I'm struggling at the moment because I'm ill. Okay. I can't control that. I can be ill and have no plan, no schedule, no goals, no outcome, no accountability, not do the daily planner, eat crap, and do all of those things, which is natural for us to do. And what will happen? I won't recover as quickly. I'll make a bad situation worse. Okay. Or I can auto reset and think, like, what can I do to distract myself from it? What can I do to make myself feel better? What do I need? Write this down as a question. Okay. This is just come in my head. Okay. What do I need to do? What do I need when something happens, when you get ill, okay, when you get injured, when there's a disaster or a crisis? What do I need to get a handle on right now to ensure my own behavior doesn't make this situation more difficult than it already is? Okay. And we do the opposite. Oh, I haven't got the headspace for it. Something's happened. Oh, I haven't got the headspace. I haven't got the headspace for planning anymore. I haven't got the headspace for exercise. I haven't got the headspace for eating healthy because this thing's happened. Okay. The thing doesn't affect your headspace. It's just a mind auto reset. And these are the tools that will solve it. Okay. Unbreakable daily checklist and planner. Okay. I'm just going to say this time and time again, and I have no apologies. If you are not completing it, and there is any part of your life that is not on point and you're suffering any form of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, anger, frustration, you are just being a fool. Okay. You've been given the thing to solve it and you're not doing it. So take responsibility that it's your fault that you're experiencing those emotions. Okay. The weekly battle plan is then a step up. Okay. Because all we're focusing on is the measurable outcomes that we need to achieve in the next 7 days. Okay. And then we set them again, and then we set them again, and then we set them again. Okay. So next week, you guys already have the day planner, right? If not, I suggest you go and look for it now. And I also suggest you fill it in before bed tonight, because it will change and save your life. It's the culmination of 20 years of my learning. Okay. You can complete it on Notability with an Apple Pencil. You can print it and complete it on paper with a normal pencil. You can print it and laminate it like Jessica Corton does and complete it with a marker pen that you rub off each day. Or you can download it as a PDF to your phone, iPad, computer, and type on it or tick the boxes. Okay. There's no excuse for not doing it. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious in any way, shape, or form, the number one thing that you can do to get a handle on that right now is get that planner out, fill it in for tomorrow, plan your day, focus on what's important, prioritize what tasks you do need to do, get your clothes out ready for the morning, make sure your phone's off in the next 1 hour and 13 minutes, and plan for success tomorrow. Okay. Plan on what you need to do tomorrow to take yourself towards the 7-day weekly outcome that you've just written down. Okay. Not what you need to do on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. This is what I'm going to come on to on the training on Tuesday. Okay. As I said, I've been more anxious, overwhelmed, stressed, exhausted, and burnt out than ever before this week. And I'm going to teach you in depth how I'm not perfect, how I've started to get a handle on it. I haven't solved it yet. I'm still experiencing them emotions. Okay, but I'm going to teach you how I sorted it. And next Sunday's training, obviously on normal weeks, the trainings will be Monday, Tuesday, break, Q&A Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, next week will be Sunday, because today's been weekly battle plan. Next week, we're going to do weekly review. So how do I effectively review the week, and how do we, let's go down. So we're going to look at our weekly battle plan. So for our 7 days, we worked out in body, business, and balance. Okay, what are our outcomes for the next 7 days? Do that tonight. Please, please, please do that tonight. What are your outcomes with your body? Fitness, fat loss, strength, personal development, mindset. Might just be listen to an audiobook for 30 minutes every day. Okay. Turn up to all of Lee's trainings. Okay. Get 10,000 steps in per day. Track my food accurately every day. Okay. Again, balance. Get them planned for this week. What are you doing for fun? What are you doing with your family? What are you doing to create memories? What are you doing for experiences? What hobbies are you doing? What freedom have you got? How are you going to get your screen time down? How many times are you meditating? Okay. And then our business outcomes. So what do we need to earn this week? How can we work less hours? How can we become less stressed at work? What difficult conversations could we have that we haven't been having? So we know exactly what it is that we need to achieve this week. Okay. And then what we are going to do at the end of this time next week is more interactive with you guys. So write this down, get involved, no loan sharks or lone wolves. And then let's review them next week. So if I look at mine, so for the purposes of this, it might be really easy for you guys to just work on 3. Okay. So I've got 3 key things that I need to achieve this week. Okay. I need to make 5 sales. I need to begin some communications between Nat and Laura in regards to content and the new website. And I need to make sure that all the music Facebook adverts are live. That's it. Those are my key 3. Okay. So get your key 3 for this week. And then if you want to break it down into further, what are your key 3 for body? What are your key 3 for business? And what are your key 3 for balance? So 9 things that lead us towards the outcome that we want to be reviewing next Sunday. Okay. So get involved, do it. Don't be a lurker. Write them down now. Either just 3 things that you need to achieve this week, or 3 things for body, 3 things for balance, 3 things for business. Keep them in your notes on your phone so you can screenshot it. And then at the beginning of next week's training, I'm going to post mine in, and I'm going to get all you guys to post yours in as well. And then I'm going to teach you through a systematic review process on how we can review the week before, guess what we do after that? Create next week's battle plan again. And it's an ongoing process. Okay. So it's a process within a process, within a process, within a process. That is how we stop getting overwhelmed, exhausted, burned out, losing self-belief, frustrated, angry, and resentful. Okay. We go 12 months down to 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, 7 days, 1 day. Okay. Make things smaller, 1 day at a time, compound effect. You will kill it. Guys, has anyone got any quick questions before I think I'm going to go to bed, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to have some food. I'm going to attempt to shave my head with the clippers so I don't look like a microphone mooseball headed tramp in the morning. Having a shower and shaving my head now are 2 things I can do that will make me feel better, to get a handle on being poorly. Take some painkillers and have an early night after I've fully planned tomorrow. So when I wake up, there's no stress for me. Okay. In fact, mine's slightly different. you will see so mine's all set out in a plan. Weekly review last week. Weekly battle plan this week. Tomorrow's day plan. Priorities, must-dos, power message. Okay, you can see wham, 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 wham. I know when I'm with Logan. I know when I'm doing the website email. I know I'm resting. I know when I'm going to the gym. Okay, let's get it. Start to get it focused, guys. Because now I don't need to worry about anything the rest of this evening because tomorrow's plan is already sorted. This week's plan is already sorted. Last week's progress has already been reviewed against the outcomes, and I know where I need to improve this week to make sure that I have a better week in body, business, and balance. Guys, I'm guessing there's no questions, so I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. I've already seen some absolutely epic results. It's the biggest champ hydrating session known to man. Can't wait to share it with you. Michelle Claire Ridley, my Welsh warrior. I will see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Sarah Newell, Ange Trevise, Sarah Nenye, Kate Shandan, Stacey Seed, Georgia Elizabeth, Sarah Hardy, Melissa Campbell, Matt Bingham, Sharon Atkinson. Thanks for tuning in live. Lisa Dodds, Laura Wainer, Maria Shaw, Jackie Crooks, Jessica Faye Riley, Melissa Campbell. Go on, Melissa, in the bikini pics. Loving your confidence. And yeah, all you girls who want to build asses, butts, shoulders, and everything else, make sure you're tuning in on Wednesday, okay? Because I will be going through the specific nutrition and training protocols that you need to be implementing to build those dream bikini bodies or pecs, shoulders, and biceps. Okay, more for the lads, dependent on what floats your boat. Guys, I love you all. Have an absolutely awesome Sunday, and I will see you in the morning. I cannot wait to celebrate your wins with you. Take care, guys. See you soon.